Feels a little bit different today. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. I hope you guys have had a blessed day so far. I know it's morning for a lot of you on that side of the world. It's afternoon, late afternoon here for me. And so probably even evening it already. But hopefully you're going to find this insightful. Today I'm not going to look at the markets in the normal way that we do. I am going to instead teach you something. Right? How do you approach the markets from that perspective? I know we got some music playing in the background. You're probably thinking, I hope he turns it off. I will. I'm just enjoying it for a little bit. Right? Get me amped up. I like this particular background tune. Now, before we do anything, go ahead and smash the like button. Right now, smash the like button, please. And then also in the chat, let me know if you're live with me. Okay, I'm gonna come back only if you all put your name in the chat, right? I'm gonna count exactly how many people are on here, and if you don't put your name in the chat within the next minute or so, and you don't smash the like button, then I'm not gonna continue. Right? I'm not gonna continue. I promise you, I'm jumping off. Not gonna teach you what you need to know today, right? We'll keep it simple today. Won't be too long, but I believe that you are gonna find some value. So keep those names in the chat coming. Thank you. That's it. Remember to click the like button as well. Please go ahead and do that. I'm gonna play music one more minute. While you do that, hit the like button and put your name in the chat, and then I'm gonna come back. Right? Let me just get set up real quick. Hey, I am back. Let's get to the charts, right? Let's talk about what's here, what's available. What are we looking at? I'm taking just any chart, Euro USD. Let me see, is this current chart? Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. That's the current chart, and we're kind of just going to look at a couple of things. I'll talk you through a couple of things and what you should be looking at on a weekly basis. Now, I like to use my weekends to review price, yes, see what the market has done, but then also to upskill myself and kind of like pattern train myself to see things over and over and over again. So one of the ways we can do that, or how we're on a 2-month chart, is look at the charts and let the charts tell us what we should be looking at. So, for instance, I am an advocate for looking at one particular thing at a time. Although on this particular call and lesson right now, I'm going to look at multiple things. I want you to segment them and only look at one thing at a time, right? So I'm on a monthly chart at the moment, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to draw on every single time I see a monthly low and high taken in this kind of like area over here. So what is this going to be? This is going to be the study for me of highs and lows, right? A study of highs and lows. And we can do this one as well. So right now I'm going to study highs and lows and see what actually has transpired in them. I will work myself back from this area to current price, right? That's where we started. So I've drawn them on as accurately as I can. Let me just draw it even more perfectly here. That 3 candle high gets taken out there. This 3 candle low gets taken out here. Now I know there's one in between, and we can kind of like draw all of them on, but I don't want to have too much on. Right? In fact, let me take this one off as well so that we have less on over here. And we go up. This one gets taken out over here. Gets traded through over there. gets traded through over there, right? And those are the ones we're going to kind of look at and analyze. What do we see? So when we look at a monthly chart, the corresponding time frame that we look at is a daily. So we go ahead and look at a daily, and what we want to see is what happens from the time that price crosses beyond that area. Okay, what happens? Okay, so what happens on the way up? What happens over here that causes price to actually turn and start to go impulsively down? And that's what we want to highlight and mark up. So one of the things I could possibly say is we've already crossed the high, so we're not going to look at that. But anything else that starts to be significant from this area over here, right at the top, we can see that there was a FEG that was there at one point. So we could say FEG traded through. And even if you know this, don't just draw it up, but actually physically type it out. I had a biology teacher who told me you got to write it down, speak it, read it. All of those things together is going to help you remember it, right? So we got an FEG or a gap that got traded through. Okay. So we got, what else do we have? In fact, we have multiple FEGs. Now I suggest you keep this a different color to your normal colors. So we got that one. We got multiple FEGs that got traded through over there. What else can we kind of like see in this particular area over here? We also see that on the right side of price produces FEGs, right, in that particular area. And I really just want to focus on this kind of localized area over here. What do we actually see? And this is on the daily, right? And so we can go daily. Okay. So now from this one onwards, we'll move, and I'll add more information as we go further down. We'll move down to the bottom when they got taken out, and let's see what we can see here. Here's an interesting one. As we go up, we drop down again. Wow, that's interesting, right? Why didn't we just turn up? Well, here was an FEG here, right? And price did not trade through it. You guys agree? Let me know in the chat. Give me a 10 in the chat if you agree the price did not trade through it. All right? Give me a 10 in the chat if you agree the price is not traded through it. Yes, price is not traded through it, right? I'm going to teach a little bit and I'll respond a bit more in the chat afterwards. Then what do we see after that? When does the turning point actually come? We see, okay, price traded through this one. So we can mark this one off as price traded through. So you can say whatever, broke FEG. All right? And we could also say on the low, took a daily low before doing that. Why are we doing this? I'll tell you when we get towards the end. Right? Took a daily low. So mark off everything that you can see. Now I know you guys are just going to write down what I saw and you're not going to do anything, but there's merit in actually doing this yourself. Okay, so we're just looking at that turning points. Then of course price stumbles and goes through this particular period over here. We're not trying to understand all of this, right? That's important. We are not trying to understand all of this. We're just trying to understand what happened at those highs and lows. So here's another one over here. What do we have here? Price takes again a high, which is similar to what we saw at the bottom. Took daily high. Okay, coach, what are you doing? Does this make sense? Why are you showing us? Follow along. And then where did we need to go through and break? So here we had a gap that didn't break over here, went back up. Okay. Boom. Then broke over there. Okay. All right. So now we have to question why. This is how you find out this information. It's equivalent of circling a higher low. This one broke an FEG, then started to get that progression down after taking out that high. This one over here broke an FEG and took a daily low, then started the progression up after it took that monthly low. Why does this one grab a daily high, break through an FEG, but does not start to go down all the way? In fact, it goes up one more time. Right? We're going to talk about that real soon. But let's look at this one, this high as well. So this high crosses over a high over there. Where do we get our first FEG that price trades through after doing that high? We get it over here. So now we can see took a daily high, right? What's going on with this trading view? There we go. Took a daily high and broke an FEG, but this time it worked. Price went down. Right? It traded through that FEG or traded through that gap and price went down. Okay. So price goes all the way down, and now we come to this one, which is also that monthly area. Remember I said earlier on we're going to take this one off, so let's take this one off for now. It's also this monthly area. Now what do we have here? We have price taking that. Okay. This is good. We take that low. So we took a daily low. So we're supposed to turn up strongly from here. I'm teaching you how to investigate price. What is our additional confluence? We also broke a gap. Right? We broke an FEG over there. We traded right through it. Okay, and I'm not saying make this your particular strategy. I'm teaching you how to investigate levels. So let's for now stop round about here on current price, so we can kind of look through all of them. So the first time around we went up on the daily and we broke through an FEG after taking out a monthly high and we traded down. So okay, now we know that one of the confluences that we need to have is we need to break down on a daily, right, after taking a monthly high and break through a gap, and that's usually a signal based on this one and this one, right? The signal that price is going to reverse for a longer period of time. Then we encounter a bit of an issue in that we do the same thing here. We take a daily high, right, and we trade through a gap, but price does not immediately start to pull down. But then we do it again. We take a daily high, trade through a gap, and this time around it does pull down. So far, if we look at 1, 2, 3 here actually, 3 agrees and 1 does not work, right? Then we get over here at the bottom, price takes a daily low, comes up, and then doesn't work either. So now we've got 3 that agrees and 1 that doesn't. Sorry, 2 that doesn't. Okay. Now our objective is to find out what's the difference between the ones that worked and the ones that did not. How do we do that? Right? We go and look at what are the anomalies on higher time frames than the ones we were looking at. So if we want the daily, we just go up to the weekly and we're going to kind of investigate that same areas. Right? So remember, this one worked and that one worked, but this one didn't. Okay? This one didn't work. So what do we see? We see that this one over here, right, did that turning point and then went up. This one here did the turning point and then went down. And just to confirm again to everyone, this both of it was, that was a monthly, that was a monthly. So That monthly traded down here. This monthly traded up there. So let's go back and let's check that daily again. What's the difference? Right? So these ones work. This one here works only on the second term. So we look at the weekly. And we look at that same areas again. See if there's anything we could see. Right? Okay. Over here we see price go below that monthly. Pull up. And sorry, let's start off with this one. We go above that monthly. We turn down. Right? What do we see? We go into a weekly area. That's a gap. Trade through it over here. And then go down. Okay. Here the same thing. We go into a weekly gap. I would react off of it. Trade through it. And then go up. Okay. Over here. Right. The first time around as we go up. When we come back down. We trade into a weekly gap. We don't go through it. We start to break up the other way. Come back and trade into and through it. And once we trade through it. We go down. So now we are noticing that. And watch this. We're supposed to go. But we go into a weekly gap. We don't go through it. We trade down. So we go further down. And you'll see it goes further down from that point onwards. What have we noticed now? So we've noticed that on the monthly area, when price turns from high on a daily, right? When price turns around on a daily, all of these ones have the same characteristics on the daily, but not all of them work. And what is the thing that causes them not to work? It's when it reacts. Look at this. I want to show you. It reacts to a weekly gap. Pulls up. Now, this might be an advanced concept. Right? Pulls up over here. But then clears it on this candle. Right? That should tell you something. This one over here reacts to this gap. Pulls down. Does not go lower than that candle. And clears it on that candle. And price starts progressing up. This one over here goes into this gap, but here's the difference. Does the next candle clear it? No. Does the next candle after that clear it? No. Why? It's gone higher than that one. Once it's gone higher, first goes up again, then comes through it. Right? Now look at this as well. Reacts from it. Does the next candle after that go higher than the one that reacts from it? No. So what happens? Goes down again. So these are things you can learn when you actually look at your highs and lows and see what the differences are. So what you should learn from this is, and I'm not giving you one specific thing to look at. I'm trying to teach you how to investigate an area, right? And that's your highs and lows. Now we'll talk about that more in the mastermind cohort and understanding when we're going to get that fractal that turns around, when you should wait and when you shouldn't. But I want to point out to you that usually if everything shares the same characteristic and they don't work, there's usually something on a higher time frame that you could have anticipated beforehand, right? That kept it from working in the first place. Okay, so that's one thing. Next thing I want to talk about is I'll keep gaps for last. Next thing I want to talk about is, and we're going to look at, like, let's just look at, because there's a lot of messy candles inside of here, right? Let's just look at from here. This is a weekly candle. We're just purely going to look at weekly candle dynamics, right? And I'll play one more candle out. Give me two so that I can. That's not a full weekly candle. And is there a way I can make this go faster? No. Okay. Here's something I want you to see. Candle by candle basis analysis. This weekly candle gets closed through by the next weekly candle quite strongly. Right? That would tell me that the next candle after this one is likely going to be bullish as well all right, and try and go through there. So let's see, right? Oh, this candle wasn't done yet. This is the only. Let me do it on the daily, because when the candles aren't done, we're not getting we're not getting the full view of a finished candle. So let's start off there, and it will be easier. Now, when you're trading an actual live market, you will get that full view of a candle because the candle will close. So let's start on the daily, and let's currently look at this candle, right? This is the last two candles on the chart. This candle over here, right, has traded into that particular area. So there's a lot of information you guys are getting today. This candle, let me know in the chat if you guys are finding value from this. Please let me know in the chat if you're finding value. Type something in the chat that tells me that you're finding value. This candle over here, right, closes inside of this candle's range. So I have a reasonable expectation that the next candle that forms will at least go to this low. I don't have to be right, but that's what I think will happen. Okay, we don't get it. That's good, right? We don't get it. Now, so we are, and I'm going to mark this off actually. So we are wrong on this one. Let me find a better way to actually mark it off. So we are, what I'll do is I'll do squares when we're wrong, and I'll do circles when we're right, right? So we are wrong on this one, okay? But this candle closes through that candle. So I can reasonably expect that the next candle will go through this high, right? Let's see. Boom, we go through that high, right? Even though it came down, we went through that high. So bias in that morning was at least to get up through that high. And at one point, that candle was that high, right? So this one's going to be a win for us. And I'll put the circle there. We judge direction correctly. This candle pulls in strongly, right, into the candle prior to it. So I have a reasonable expectation after that candle closes that we are now going to go ahead and take out this low on the next candle. Boom. And we do, right? So now I've got another winner over here. One loss and two winners. This candle closes strongly up into the range of the candle to the left of it. So I have a reasonable expectation that we're going to go on the next daily candle and clear this candle's high. And we say, Coach, that's such a small thing. Nope. When you're trading lower time frames and you understand the weekly version of this as well, you can then execute on 4 hours, on 1 hour, and towards that time. But I'm trying to teach you just on a candle by candle basis what is high probability. So we want to go through that high, right, on the next candle. And we do. Boom. So that's another win, right? Now this candle closes quite strongly past this candle. So our reasonable expectation could be that the next candle will go through that high, right? Or at least reach for it. It just needs to go in the same direction, right? Now let's see. Boom. So this one's correct, right? This one closes strongly through this one. So we have a reasonable expectation that the next one will then go and close and go through that one as well. Let's see. Boom. We're right? From here till there, there's a viable trade. So this one's correct as well. Right? Now this one closes quite deep into this one, into this candle. So we could expect that the next candle will go lower than this low. Now you might say, but that's just a small move. That's okay. You want to pair a single weekly candle with a much lower time frame. You want to pair a single daily candle with a much lower time frame as well. But we'll speak about that in time frame dynamics. I'm just showing you logic. So we should be going through there, right? I got to put a winner on this one. Oh no, the winner is the circle at the bottom here. My bad. I can put it on top there. So we got to go through that low on the next one. Boom, and we do, right? We go through that low on the next one, so quite good. That's another winner. Okay, now this candle closes through that candle as well. At this particular point, we're thinking of a possible low here. Now, you should be savvy enough to see there's a gap here. Maybe now is not the time to actually do that. So we'd sit this one out maybe, right? Because we're inside of a gap and likely we are going to go and take out that high. I'm not going to add a winner or loser to it on this one, right? Just because, okay, and we go low, right? We could have actually gone lower, but this would be an indecision area because we're likely going up. Now we close inside of this candle. On that candle, I'm thinking higher. Boom, we go higher, right? We go higher from this open here till there, till above that. That is a viable trade opportunity. Now we close quite strongly. Let me just circle this one as a winner. Remember, this one is an indecision. We didn't do anything. On this one down, we decide likely we're going to go through this. Let's see. Boom, and we do. Right? We go through that. So that's going to be a winner as well. Now this one clears that and pulls up in this candle range. So likely we're going to go through this. Give me a 10 in the chat if you're still finding value. Boom, we go through that. So you wanted to know what directional bias is. Here's directional bias on a candle by candle basis as well. There's a lot more I can show you. Right? So now this one closes up through that candle. Next expectation is we go higher to that one. Boom. Some days are going to look like that, by the way. Right? Some days are going to look like that. You got to ask yourself, can I memorize all this price action? We got one wrong so far and one we didn't take. This one closes quite strongly up like that. Now I would caution when it's a very strong, massive candle like that to be cautious. Might not go through on the next one. But let's just use static rules and trade accordingly. So we should go higher than that candle's high. Right? Let's see if we got higher than there. Nope. So we're going to call this particular one a loss. If the next one goes down inside of this gap, we're not going to take the next one because we should go lower than this one because we closed inside of it. In actual fact, we can take this one. My bad. We close inside of that candle. We should go lower next. We do. Bang. We go lower. So a trade from here down there would have been enough. Now we close up inside of that and we're coming from a gap. So this one's correct first. So I would expect possibly going there next. After large candle, I guess we're bound to get a few losses. So I'm expecting that, but not yet. So we're trying to go up next. Boom, we are up. Come on, everybody. I hope you're liking that stream. I hope you like the stream. So where do we go next? Likely up over here. Boom, another winner. Where do we go next? Up over there. Boom, we got it. Another winner. Where do we go next from here? Lower because of how we close in that range. There we go. Where do we go next? And I'm going to put that circle on there as well. Where do we go next? Likely lower as well because we closed lower than that low. And we don't, so that will call a loss. I know you guys are like, oh, we lost. You were wrong. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Doesn't matter. Follow along. Now we close strongly inside of that range. So likely going higher than that. Boom, another winner. Speeding it up now. Somebody type amazing in the chat. Amazing. I want to see someone say amazing. Right? There's a lot I can show you all, but we need to get to that level where we do some mastermind concepts, right? I know some of you are like, Coach, I'm going to trade this tomorrow. Why are you putting this on the YouTube? Told you guys I was going to give value this entire week. And this is what I am doing. I don't even know how long I'll leave this on YouTube, right? So just make the notes you can. Next, we're going to go higher over there. Boom. I'm on easy mode now. Easy mode. Next, where we're going to go higher over there. Write this down for your notes as I'm saying it. Boom. Price will always, almost always trend a lot longer than it will reverse. Gonna go higher again. Bang. Another one. Come on, coach. That one's a winner as well. When I tell people I can give you direction 80% of the time and you don't believe me, you're watching it live now. Right? Where do we go next? We close inside of that, likely lower than this one. Bang. Wait a minute. Keep it simple. Right? Where do we go next after here? There. Boom. Now this one comes. I have to check this one. Let me see. As this one comes, is it closing that range? Yeah, this is in this one. That one we win. But this particular next candle, I'm not going to judge on. It's an indecision one. So we didn't close. We didn't close below that low. So we're sitting above it, even though we pushed there, and we didn't close above it. We're right on that line. So I'm going to do nothing on the next candle. Right now, on this candle, you got to watch this carefully. Right, price comes down. We go down lower, but we actually close back up in. So on this candle, I'm looking to go back there. Oops, don't get it, so I'm wrong. That's fine. That's fine. We're bound to get some losses overall. Now we're looking to go lower again. That's a win. Looking to go lower the next day again. We tag that low, so that's a win. Now where to now? And I'm going to call it a day quite soon. Looking to go higher on the next one. We don't, so that's a loss. What do? We trade down, but we do pull back up in that range, so I would think we go back there. If we don't get it, it's fine. Nothing really happens here, so we can't call that a win or a loss. But we do have this green candle forming, so the next one is likely there. There we go. Next one there. For those of you appreciate this particular stream and you're still sticking on till this particular point, do me a favor. Write us an email back and tell me if you valued this particular stream, right? We need to know that what we are doing, you guys are appreciating. This might be the biggest thing some of you have learned ever, right? And I'm giving it purely because you signed up with us. Most of you are getting this information because you signed up with us. Yes, I'm putting it on YouTube, but you'd not even get this if you didn't sign up with us. This is part of the overall program and just what I'm trying to do this particular week by giving value. Let's go again. There we go. I think I've painted the picture enough now. Let's look. Right? I think I painted the picture enough. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 losses. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 times we were correct versus 5 times being wrong. If that doesn't impress you, then I don't know what will. Now, let's look at the times that we were wrong. Right? To kind of like see what we would have learned from that. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we're going to draw out this one that we were wrong on. Right? And we're going to draw out that one that we were wrong on. Right? I'm going to change the color on those. And purple. So daily, let's go to a weekly chart. Right? We'll kind of see. So over here, when we were wrong, guess what we did? Right? We went below weekly. Everything else in between that was fine. We went below weekly. This one over here, where we were wrong, We didn't go below a weekly, but we were in a weekly gap. Right? So these are things you can understand when you do enough data calibration and looking at it. So if you're learning anything today is look, what am I teaching you with all of this? Investigate the charts. Spend time gathering data. Right? Lastly, I'll clear all of this and we'll call it a day. Is the last thing you should do is, and I'm not going to go in detail with this one. This is kind of the real big thing. Is I want you to go and look at gaps. So let me draw on one over here, one over there, right? I'm going to replay the chart here so we don't have too much of them on. And you know what, let's just do those two for now. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and look inside of this area. All right. How does price look in there? This is a daily, so we look to the 1 hour. And when does price turn? What time does it turn? All right. We look at the price action and we see that anytime there's a strong impulsive move, it comes after a low has been taken. Any strong impulsive move up here and here comes after what? Here's multiple lows here. Low has been taken. Low has been taken. What does that teach you about your buys? A good buy from an FEG comes after a low has been taken. What do you mean, coach? Well, here's your FEG, your higher time frame gap. When does a good buy come? After a low has been taken out. And the correct time of day, of course. When does it come again? After a low has been taken out and the correct time of day. That should be a hint in itself to you that something phenomenal and significant is happening here. Give me a 21 in the chat if you're finding value. And then let me quickly end the stream now. There's a lot more to this. And that's why I'm so excited for the upcoming weeks when we start the cohort. And even for the Trading Academy, the people are still with us in that. We're going to be giving value there as well. Of course, there is tremendous value. I want you guys to practice your strategies, the things that we've been teaching you guys. Stick to those things. Find the value that is in there, right? Because there is tremendous amounts of value if you utilize it. Now, if you stuck out this far and you stayed with me this far along, first of all, well done to yourself. It's a Saturday and you committed some time to do this. Go ahead and one more time, before I say anything else, go and hit that like button. We're going to end the stream real quick. Tomorrow is probably church for a lot of us. Even though your Saturday is just starting, mine is coming to a end. I want to tell you all, be blessed on purpose. And let me surprise you with something. Depending on how Kaylin puts this on at the moment, what if I told you that I haven't been live at all right now? And this entire thing was recorded this afternoon, my time, because I didn't want to interrupt the class that was happening with Timothy. So instead of me interrupting that, I decided not to go live, but instead use the same time to record. And the class is just finishing now so that I can premiere this a little later. But you guys have been, some of you probably have been fooled. Those of you who have been with me for long, you know that I would have probably answered some of the stuff that was typed in the chat already. So you know that I wasn't live. But that being said, thank you for sticking with it. In any case, I hope you appreciate me taking the time. It's still Saturday. I promised you I'll give you a recording today. So even though I haven't actually been live and you were typing your 21s and doing all of those things, I hope that you can see that I value your guys' time enough to show up every single time I give an opportunity to give you guys something. So be blessed on purpose. Again, write us an email if you found value in this particular session, and spend time with the people that you love. Life is not only about trading, right? Sometimes the better trading journey happens when you spend time around the things you actually value as well. I'm not saying put trading to the side, but I am saying that don't, as the youngins would say, don't get it twisted. Don't think that this is more important than the other things in your life. It isn't, okay? Be blessed on purpose. It was good hanging out with you guys today. Have a lovely and blessed day further. Hopefully you enjoyed Timothy's class as well. And shout out to Timothy for making those classes good. I know that he was going to share something good with you guys today. about the journey in the competition. So hopefully you did that as well, and you found some value in that. Okay, thank you everyone. Be blessed on purpose. Go Sharon. Goodbye.